And we're live. There we are. Hello, everybody. How you doing? Welcome to Employer Brand Breakdown. Not where I break down, but where we break down other companies' employer brands. Why do we break them down? So we can learn. So we can learn what tricks work, what ideas might work. By leveraging other companies, we can see what real-world examples are happening and how we might be able to steal some good ideas and learn how to make our work better, ultimately, right? Look, this isn't scripted. This is just what I do. So today we're going to look at a 9,000 person biotech headquartered in San Diego, though with a global footprint, Illumina. Okay, this was recommended by someone, so this isn't my choice, but I love it when people recommend it. So if you've got a company you'd like me to do a breakdown on, find me on LinkedIn and just ping me. Let me know, DM me, whatever the kids are saying. Just let me know what company I should take a look at. This is our 11th employer brand breakdown. So if you'd like to see the rest of the employer brand breakdowns, it's over on YouTube. Actually, I think I'm pointing here. Take a look at my YouTube channel or subscribe. That'd be cool. And see all the employer brand breakdowns as well as all the other employer brand content I have on YouTube. Okay, so with that, let's click the buttons that make me share my screen. It's a song, not leave screen. Let's see, where are we? There we go. Hello, hello. Here we go. There we go. Okay, so we're going to focus today on the website, the career site and the corporate site. We're not going to jump on a LinkedIn, so we should be here. We're also not going to talk about jobs. We only have about 20 minutes, so I want to get good ideas in here. So remember, the goal is not to make anybody feel bad. The goal is not to kind of point and laugh. The goal is not to say this sucks. The goal is to say this is what's working and this is how you can make it even better. So with that in mind, let's take a look at Illumina. Now, this is the corporate site. This is how they're launching and framing how they want people to think about them. 25 years in innovation, which for a biotech, that's a long life. That is a very long life. A lot of biotechs only 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 years existence. 25 is old. You know who else is 25 years old? JetBlue, right? That's how old this company is. And I don't mean like, it's an old company, but this is a biotech that has certainly grown over time, that has been successful over those 25 years. So, it's a corporate site, so I can't take any points off for saying, hey, look, it's a pretty set of buildings or a campus or whatever, and there's no people and there's no science. I like the picture a lot, but I think it could add more value. But there we are. The framing is our mission is to improve human health by unlocking the power of the genome. And you will see the word genome and genomics all sorts of ways all through this site. That's what they're doing. We scroll down, lots of white space around what their research is, what their clinical is, talk to some customers. They offer actual products. They're not just making compounds like a lot of biotechs are. They're offering products that help sequence other people's genomes. So they can sell you a gene sequencer to do with, I'm not sure, but I'm not a scientist, so there you go. But cool stuff. So your sequencers and microarrays, and here's our products, and we're super trusted technology. Great, great, great. Education webinars, so much white space, very cleanly laid out. Loving the fonts, loving the layout. It's very nice. And we get down here to an employee story. Now, it's really interesting. Now, I've seen the rest of the site, so I can kind of give you a hint as to what's about to happen. It's really interesting that if you go here, it says employee story follows Suzanne through her typical day as a bioinformatics scientist. View the video, view more stories. Usually when you see these kinds of things, the see jobs is very prominent. It's designed, this content is designed to say, aren't you interested in working here? See some jobs and apply. They're not doing that. And I want to give them a very strong tip of the hat to not doing that, because by pushing down the job search, which is down here outside of the box and not really obvious, what they're doing is they're using this content to not just be about talent acquisition. They're using it to talk about what the company is like in total. So it's describing its culture, it's describing its approach, it's describing how it does things. It is information that investors might want. It is information potential customers might want, as well as candidates. So to me, I love that they're doing this, that they're not saying, this is a job about an employee, do you want to work here? If we click the video, I'll click on the closed caption so you can see what's going on. There we go. So in our DNA, it's an interesting video. I've become very, very excited about video in the last couple of years, whereas I was for a long time not a believer in videos. But in this video, it starts very stilted. And I kind of was like, oh, what's happening? And then the B-roll kicks in of her going for a walk and some hiking shoes. You're like, oh, okay. Mixing up what's it like in the office, what's it like out of the office, and talking about how it's encouraging and celebrating our culture and and points for giving full name and full title. You don't see that very often. I love when they do that. Then a deep dive into Suzanne at work. She's looking at some sequenced genome. She's looking at DNA. She's looking at code. Eventually, she's going to pop up and have a Zoom conversation. There's a cat in the background. So it's telling that kind of COVID story, doing work from remote. Strong storytelling. It's really well shot. It's got a point of view, which I like. It's from about a year ago. And then it takes this interesting twist, which I think it's about to do. Yeah, we're talking to people. Yeah, here it is. Suddenly you're outside again. And this is where it's not just a little B-roll. This is the story. And you're watching her climb this mountain. You're starting to realize that going on a hike wasn't just some fun B-roll. It's a bigger metaphor about how she is taking this larger journey, how she's achieving this big thing. And it's, biotech is a big, complicated thing. You're changing the world in the hopes of making big changes. And here she is climbing a big mountain. Nice metaphor. Could it be, is it ham-fisted? I don't know. Could be, but it's nice. It's fine. I think it's doing actually a pretty good job. One thing I note, because again, I've seen the other videos, it doesn't end with a strong call to action, which, as I said, isn't a big deal because this is content that could be used for almost anything. This is investor relations, corporate branding, all that sort of things. But it just kind of ends with the building. I got to hit play, don't I? It ends with a building and a nice little droney shot, and learn more at Illumina.com. That's it. This is a person as an avatar for the entire company. Love that. I think that's really, really smart. What I also note is there's no tagline around, as you will see in a minute, calls to action. So let's go into, scroll to the top. We go to company careers. So let's go to the, whoops. And I'm not a fan of it's too much navigation. Just let me click careers and get to the career page. That's just me. And here we have the impact the future of human health. Do more than you ever thought possible. What if you did more every day could impact the lives of all the people you know or all of humanity? Now, from a branding standpoint, the goal of a good employer brand is not just to look good. It's very easy to look good these days. It's really not that hard. The goal is to differentiate yourself. Why choose Illumina over hundreds, if not thousands, of other biotechs in California? Maybe not so many in San Diego, because San Diego is not a hub of biotech. And there's some challenges around that because honestly, if you're in South San Francisco or Cambridge or the 20-mile radius around those two areas, there are so many other biotechs. If you join a company and it doesn't work out, there's plenty of other choices around you. San Diego, not so much. Yes, it's growing as a biotech hub, as many other cities are, but it doesn't have the same kind of volume of open jobs as a South San Francisco or a Cambridge, Massachusetts. And so because they're not surrounded in that geographic clustering of other companies, the bar is higher. They've got to do more to say, we want to be crystal clear about what you get and why you should choose us. Because the level of uncertainty by a candidate has ratcheted up, because if they choose wrong, they're kind of stuck in San Diego and there may not be too many other options for them. And that kind of feeling kind of locked in doesn't feel good. And so what Illumina needs to be doing here is making it crystal clear, if you're joining us, because we're not especially in the US, I know on a global level, they are in some biotech hubs, Singapore, Tokyo, sort of thing. But in San Diego, since it's not a biotech hub, there's more work that needs to be done to prove why you should join us. Why choose this company? Not just why is it nice? Why is it good? At the same time, if I took this language and applied it to 1,000 different other biotechs or pharma companies, it would fit right in. With the exception of saying the word Illumina, it's not really clear what I'm talking about. Now, here's the thing that happens in biotech, and I'm wondering if it happens in other industries too, and that is the marketing team, and I'm not dinging marketing because I am a marketer, so there we are. The marketing team is so focused on making things look good, making things look attractive, making things nice, that they very often overstate the science. Now in biotech, the science is kind of the thing, right? You're choosing a company. You don't know who the leader is necessarily. You don't know any of the people there. They haven't released a product yet. What you do know is their approach they're taking to make whatever innovation they're trying to make, whether it's data science or optics or genome scanning or whatever, sequencing. What is the science? In a lot of ways, spelling out the science is a driver of why people work there. And they're not doing a great job here. Yes, it is other places on the site. If I went over here and I went back to home and I started looking through the science, I'd see more of it. But this is a place where, and this is very specific to biotech, this is a place where the science needs to be spelled out and not in a polished way. I know for a fact, in some companies, they overstate and they overhype and they make it, oh, it's science fiction, it's super cool. That the scientist sees that and goes, yeah, that's cool and all, but I don't get it. What are you really doing? Right? You're asking the puppeteer, isn't the puppeting cool? But the puppeteer is saying, yes, but how are you doing that? Because I'm going to be expected to do that. They have enough information about how this machinery works that language about how we're going to impact all of humanity doesn't move the needle. It's generic language because so many other companies are saying it. It doesn't say what the science really is. So this is a place where an injection of scientific information, very specific scientific information, would do a lot of good. Meaningful challenges, fulfilling work. Again, really generic language, unfortunately. I could literally take that and put that in front of Groupon. If you understand that fulfilling work at Groupon is not about making coupons, but about growing small businesses around the world, that's pretty fulfilling. And the work is hard. Meaningful challenges, fulfilling work. So again, marketing, taking this, how do we make this generically positive everywhere approach is not serving TA and TA's goals. And the more I looked at this, and the more I went, gosh, I mean, the design is fine, but these pictures are small. That seems surprising. You know, connected and inspired, could be anybody. Committed to inclusion, could be anybody. Innovative benefits, personalized experience. Okay, that's interesting. Why is this photo so small? It feels like it's dated a little bit. And then I found, and the awards are fine. There's nothing too old. And then I found these videos, and I went, oh, okay, let's look at, is it Daniel? Whatever, it doesn't matter. Let's look at these videos. And these videos are 6 years old. There's clearly been some sort of campaign to say, let's make a bunch of videos. Okay, good, that's one. We're in the midst of an information revolution. Okay, yeah, obviously. Biological revolution 6 years ago. Yeah, today we're deep in it. What I think is interesting, a lot of this content is well shot, and it's got some really nice information to it. But because it's so specific, is that still the starting salary? This content's relatively old. If I look at YouTube, I can see that it was uploaded 4 years ago, right? And we're going to come back to this idea in just 1 second. So I'm going to go over to Life at Illumina. Okay, I'm interested in this company. I want to learn more about what it's like to work here. Let's go to Life at Illumina. And again, the photos are so small. It's not providing a lot of information, endless possibilities. Okay. And then it starts to click on me. They've got 6,000 employees. Actually, they have 9,000 employees. Oh no. Okay, it's a great place to work award, but it's from 6 years ago. That Glassdoor logo is the old logo. And if I click on it, there are some really not so great reviews that I don't know that I'd want to be pointing people to. Even if I'm all about authenticity and transparency, there's some stuff that I'd be like, look, they just had a layoff. That is not a time in which you say, look at our Glassdoor scores. Look how great we are. You just had a layoff. People are coming in and just pooping all over everything. That is, turn that link off. And then the penny drops for me. And this is where the real challenge is. And I know it's a challenge because I faced it in my own work at previous companies. And I suspect that some of you are facing it too. And that is the TA team says, we need to build this content. We need to build this platform that says why we're a great place to work. Why, let's spell it out. Where do we put the videos? Where do we put the testimonials and the stories? And they say, well, we could go buy this platform, right? It's Clinch, it's Talent Brew, it's Smashfly, it's whatever. There's all sorts of platforms. I don't care what we're talking about. None of them are free. Some of them are $50,000. Some of them are $80,000. And those numbers only go up. Now, if I'm the head of TA, I might say, hey, I need to put some budget, maybe $100,000 to build this amazing site. And then the company says, but we're a technology company. Why can't we make it ourselves? And the marketers show up and they say, yeah, we can make that site for you. No big deal. And it'll be free. And marketing is super excited now because they get to say, we saved the company $100,000 by not spending $100,000 on this other platform that's dedicated to talent acquisition. We're going to build it for them. And they're super hyped for it because, again, they're saving all this money. There's a financial incentive to do this work. So they build the site and they launch it. And they've got that marketing approach. It's kind of bland. It's not specific. It's look how great we are. Look how nice we are. Look how wonderful we are. And they launch it. 3 months later, TA says, ooh, okay, we need to change some things. How do we change this? And marketing says, just tell us what you need to change and we'll take care of it. So, okay, here's my list of things to change. And marketing says, yeah, we're working on some revenue driving projects. And since this no longer drives revenue, we'll get to it when we get to it. Meaning we're going to put you at the end of that list and we'll get to you roughly when hell gets chilly. Okay. Pretty common stuff. And I think that's what's happening here. I've looked at the site. It's homegrown. It's using the exact same platform the rest of the site is using. I think marketing has driven this and it's been kind of forgotten. There are some places like career tracks, which by the way, again, hat tip to love career tracks. I love showing this off. This content's been updated recently. Here you've got an award from this year. Could you be better about be more specific about what the culture is like? Yeah. Here's the thing I want to point out. There is no normal here. That could be the entire career site. That could be the frame around which I see all this stuff. Tell me why a 9,000 person biotech, which by the way, fairly not normal. It's a big company relative to that industry that isn't a Genentech or a Roche, right? How are you not normal? That's a really strong claim. And they've buried it deep into this website on 3 pages in that I'll never find. That's the most interesting thing they're saying. And they've not really kind of done much with it, right? You're getting a lot of checkbox thinking. Hey, we should put a recruitment process in to make it more crystal clear about what to expect. But the process is we're going to have a phone screen, a digital interview, a live interview, and an offer letter. Isn't that every company? I mean, to say, hey, this process has an offer letter, you have to have an offer letter. I don't know any other way you hire people, but without an offer letter. So it's these things where they're doing the right thing in practice. They're abiding by the letter of the law of the things you need to do, but they're missing the implication of not abiding by the spirit of the law. Sites like this information is designed to be more credible, more concrete, to give people a feeling like, oh, I know what I'm getting into. I feel good about choosing this company. I feel good about engaging with this company. And then providing so little information that it's like, wait, I don't understand. And so you've kind of like pulled the rug out from under the candidates. So as we tie this up, to sum up, well, nicely designed, very clean. Not sure what the image size is. I think there's probably better ways to kind of set that up. But to me, it's really about marketing is driving this project. And because of that, it's kind of stymieing what the employer brand could be, which is really unfortunate because going back to the homepage, they understand the value of highlighting their people. If the thinking that put this part of the site up was applied to the rest of the career site, they'd have a hell of a career site. Right now, it feels like they're waiting for a refresh to happen, and I don't know when that's going to be. Again, I'm on the outside. I have no information about this company other than what I can see on the website. So, points for content like this, points for having good ideas scattered throughout, points for career tracks, a lot of good stuff here. It's just because it's dated and because it seems to be being driven by marketing or comms or whoever runs the website, it is gatekept from TA being able to leverage that content to do the want to do. So that is this week's employer brand breakdown. Like I said, if you've got a company you'd like me to look at, ping me, let me know. Otherwise, you can see this video again on instant replay, if that's what you want to call it, on YouTube in probably about 2 or 3 hours when I download it and process it and do the thing. There's the link down there, the YouTube link. There it is. Okay, I can see myself. Otherwise, if you're interested in more employer brand work, go sign up for my newsletter. It's employerbrandheadlines.com. It's free. It shows up every Monday morning. And if you like these employer brand breakdowns, keep watching. I'm doing them every Friday, roughly at noon. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks so much for watching. I'd love to hear comments if you got any, and I'll see you next week. Bye.